everybody. So Jon David last night had a pretty decent night. He stayed stable, and I had a wonderful night. I slept 12 hours, so I am in a much better mood to explain everything today. Yesterday I was exhausted, to put it in emotional terms. It felt like going 12 rounds with Mayweather or Tyson, so I was kind of spent at the end of the day. So his heart, the good news is his heart is strong. That's what one of the cardiologists was saying this morning, is that the way that he has responded from the banding and from everything that's going on and from what he saw yesterday, because he was actually in the room doing an echo while everything was like going on, he was saying that it's a good sign that his heart is strong. It was more so an issue with the lungs because of the overcirculation. And they know that the blood was shunting from the left side to the right side, causing more blood to go to the lungs, which was causing the overcirculation. There are competing theories on why that was happening, but we really don't know yet. Jury's still out on it. They're trying to figure that part out. And quite honestly, that's probably not the biggest point of all this. The biggest point is that the band and coming off the nitric and everything fixed it. So that is where we are going. And that being said, they're looking at possibly tomorrow or Monday for doing a chest closure. And also what they're going to do is take the band that he's got on right now. They're going to take that one off and put on one that they can actually balloon in the cath lab, so that they can put it on here. And then if we need to go to the cath lab, and they can widen it as he gets a little bit older to buy some time until he's a little bit bigger, so that way he can get bigger and stronger for the next surgery that he would need in order to take it off. So that is more or less the heart issue there. The lungs are a different story. So the lungs are benefiting from that PA band, which is limiting the amount of blood going to them. And to kind of give you an idea of what's going on, I'm going to put it on here. If you look on the screen, the x-ray over here that is completely whited out, that is the one from yesterday. All that white is fluid. And so all that fluid made it where he could not breathe. His lungs could not expand. He was essentially drowning from the inside. And so the one over here that is much clearer is from today. That one, as you can see, is much clearer. The white is pretty much gone. He is peeing off all of that edema, and because they've limited the amount of blood going to his lungs, it is helping him clear them out. So, good news. He is doing what they want. Honestly, we actually heard from an attending last night, this morning, that he's doing better than what they could have really hoped for. So, he is moving in the right direction. Now, that being said, Jon David is a bit of a conundrum. They don't really, going back to why this all happened, they don't quite necessarily understand why, like what caused the shift of the blood from left to right. And what caused it, what was happening was it was actually pumping really fast left to right, which caused him to overcirculate really quickly. This was over the course of about 3 hours that he went from, mild edema, there was some fluid there, to being, like y'all saw in the picture a while ago with the x-ray of it, just being essentially flooded. And so one of the attendees today, her name's Cashin, actually said that he was unique. And she also followed that up with, unique is not necessarily something that you want your kid to be called on the PCICU. Unique is wonderful for your kids' stuff at the art show or when they're playing a sport. Not necessarily something you want to hear when they're in the PCICU. So, it is one of those things where he likes throwing curveballs at them, and we are very blessed and thankful that they are very good at catching them and meeting him where he's at. So we are just going to continue to pray that they continue doing that, and that he doesn't throw any more curveballs. It would be really, really great if he threw no more curveballs. Now, Hunter had a good day. He spent the day out on the lake with Mimi and Sarah, and also in the pool. And he doesn't just love to go fishing. He also loves to try and swim like a fish, which y'all have seen, I'm sure, in all these clips. And so that has pretty much been our day. And then one thing I do kind of want to address, because there have been quite a few people who've kind of talked about this with me as we've gone through this process and been like, I'm so strong, I'm sharing and things like that. But I'm doing it for a couple reasons. One is because of the golden rule. If you're a Christian, you understand this: doing to others as you'd have them doing to you. I wanted information, and I wanted someone to look at especially early on when we were in the middle of this. And so I'm just doing something that I was wishing that I could find, and I was lucky enough to find with Charles and his 302 channel in Australia. So just trying to do what I would want to have done. The other thing is I can be part of the problem or part of the solution. I can whine about how there's not enough resources, or I can just help create another resource for families that are coming after us. And actually, that kind of came full circle in the last couple of days because there's a guy, Fabio de Assis, which he's from Brazil, so I think the pronunciation is actually Fabio de Assis, but took a little bit of Portuguese in college. But that is one of the things that, again, coming full circle, he's getting ready to have a baby with Tulsi Bing, and he has found the channel and he's asked some questions. And like, to me, that is kind of the main purpose of all of this, is to be able to pass it forward and be able to be a resource for other families who are coming after, because we're not going to be the last ones. We just won't. I think also it goes back to, I'm a history teacher, and so I love this quote by Marcus Aurelius, and it is, don't talk about what makes a good man, just be one. So, you can sit here and talk about it all day long, which kind of goes back to the don't, be part of the problem, be part of the solution. Just go ahead and take some action and be what you want to be and what you want to see in others, and be that yourself. So, if y'all would pray for two things: one, that he'll continue diuresing and getting the fluid out of his body, specifically off of his lungs, and two, that his heart, lungs, and kidneys will continue to keep on working well together. They've worked well together over the last 24 hours, and we're praying they'll continue just going right along. And that is all I've got for y'all today. Today was an easier day to choose Hope Daily, but definitely we are going to continue doing that as the days go on. Hope other families continue to do that. And y'all have a good night. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow. Jon David, kind of right up on.